Hey girl, hey, it's IFBB Pro Emily Smith,
NPC competitor Jaden Casa, and welcome back to the Wellness Girly Gang
podcast, season 2.
Hey girl, hey, we are back with another episode, and today we are joined by a very special guest, IFBB Pro Sophia Galeazzi, and we are so excited to have you on the pod today.
Yeah, so I started bodybuilding probably like 5 years ago, hired a coach like 3.5, 4 years ago. I was with her for 2.5 years before I started prep, and then prepped for my first season last year, and honestly had the best season I could possibly have. So won 2 overalls at my regional shows, went to North Americans, competed on my birthday, went pro, and I've been in off season ever since to pro debut next year, 2026. Kind of just got into bodybuilding. I don't have like a crazy like emotional tie to bodybuilding. I honestly started working out because I just wanted to look good. Like there was nothing like I think the mental gain that comes with working out came after, but I just wanted to work out because I didn't like my body and I just wanted to look good. And then it kind of just slowly progressed into bodybuilding and then competitive bodybuilding. And then wellness became a division in the States. And I was like, okay, now I want to compete. I was like, I want to do that one. That's exactly what I want to look like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of just how I got into bodybuilding. Just started working out. The more I started working out, the stronger I got. Not too many people know this because this was like before I started social media, but I went back and forth between powerlifting and bodybuilding. I just chose bodybuilding because like strength was always really easy. That always came so naturally for me. I've always been like a bigger girl. I've always been like the stronger girl. So I was like picking a sport and I knew that powerlifting just felt too easy. Not saying that it is, and I know competitive powerlifting is like crazy strong, but it was just something that I didn't find challenging and I wanted to go with the sport that would challenge me. And the food was always like the hard part for me. Like I was always like such a picky eater. I was vegetarian for 13 years. I just was so picky and I just always struggled with like overeating. I didn't know how to like control my appetite. I didn't know how to listen to hunger cues. And bodybuilding just seemed like the biggest challenge at the time. So I decided to full send bodybuilding. And then 2 is when I hired my coach. And then, yeah, I already went over the rest of it from there.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I remember when I first started following you, you were like crazy strong. I would see videos of you just repping stuff out, like crazy numbers on squat. This girl's a beast. Holy shit. Um, but that's awesome. I want to go back to something you said about, on the appetite and like the food noise and learning to transition those kind of feelings into bodybuilding because I think that that's where a lot of younger competitors can, fall into a little pit hole here. So how did you kind of get that under control and learn to view food a little bit differently?
So before I hired Kerrigan, I wanted to take myself through a cut. Before I decided to like full send it and hire a coach, I wanted to see if I had the mental fortitude to do it. So I just started macro tracking. I set my own macros. They were crazy, inaccurate, so stupid, but I set my macros nonetheless. And even though it was wrong, I set them and I just told myself like just follow them for a week. I didn't have any understanding of like what foods were, and I was like, okay, you can do this. I don't think I really healed my relationship with food probably for like, oh God, close to like a year after that. Like I had so many different eating disorders before I started bodybuilding. I struggled with binging. I struggled with like binging and purging phases. I went through like a phase when I first got into the gym and learned what calorie deficit was of just actually starving myself, and I would literally eat 400 calories a day. And I would go and I would still deadlift like 275. I would literally like all over it, but I was like, whatever. I was like, it's fine. But then once I started like eating enough and sort of I was able to kind of understand like, okay, food is fuel. Like it doesn't need to be the enemy. You shouldn't be afraid of eating. But after my first cut, I had no idea what a reverse diet was. And we went to Vegas for the Olympia and I just ate whatever I wanted and then struggled with binge. I would say that was like the first really bad binging phase that I had.
Mhm.
And it lasted like 5-ish weeks, I want to say. And it was just every single night, could not stop binging. I gained 30 pounds. And after that, I was like, okay, you have some mental stuff that you need to work through. And I listened to the podcast Brain Over Binge, and basically I like resonated with it so well because one of the first episodes they tell you like people will tell you there has to be a deeper meaning behind why you're binging. There has to be a root cause, but sometimes you are just someone who has the urge to binge. And once I saw it that way, I was like, okay, the whole time I'm trying to heal my binging by finding the source of the binge, but there was no source for me. Like I just enjoyed food. I just wanted to binge. It was fun. I liked it. The food tasted good and I just didn't want to stop. So once I like got over the binging, I was able to kind of like take a look and just like, I don't know, I guess I just kind of asked myself, like, where do you want to be in this sport? Like, what do you want to do? Have to stop demonizing food. Like, I had to prove to myself that I could eat off plan without binging. And once I did that, like, I started having a lot more control with like free meals. I had a lot more control with like macro tracking. I realized that like for the first year and a half, almost 2 years, I'd say, of bodybuilding, I was such like an all or nothing mindset type of competitor. Like I was either hitting my plan to a T or I was going crazy overboard if I was off. Like, there's no sense of balance. Like any free meal was a free binge. Any like intuitive eating day was intuitively binging. And I just realized that like it was unhealthy and I could not be successful long term if I was in that like all or nothing mindset. So kind of just learning to like re-listen to my hunger cues, like stop eating when the feeling of hunger is gone rather than when I'm full or when I'm stuffed. That was kind of what helped me get over the binging and kind of helped me, I guess, reclaim my power with food and just recognize that like food is fuel. It does serve a purpose. It doesn't need to be demonized. And I think once you understand that that's all it is. It's just food. It will be there again. And everything that you go through is like in a phase. Like you're not going to be in a diet forever. You're not going to be in a bulk forever. You're not going to be in prep forever. There's a time and a place for everything. And sometimes you have to give up food, and that's okay because it's going to come back. And sometimes you won't have to give up any food, and that's okay too. You shouldn't be scared of it. So just kind of understanding that like every phase is temporary. Food is going to come and go. Hunger is going to come and go. Hunger is not a bad thing. I think that was like the biggest thing I had to learn. Like feeling hunger is okay. It's a normal human thing to feel hunger. I think that's what helped me a lot because I was just so, for my entire life, I was just so stuck in that all or nothing mindset. And once I kind of got out of that, it helped me, I guess, accelerate like my bodybuilding career. And I became like a lot more mature of a competitor before I had even started prep.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think taking that time to like learn yourself and do that cut beforehand probably set you up for, the success that you did have in that first season. I completely forgot that that was, your first season competing. You got your pro guard, which is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. I was telling you guys before this, like this year the girls are actually so stacked. I'm like, I got very lucky. Like I got lucky that it was my day. I was the best that day, but I'm like, this year, I don't know. I would not with my physique last year, I would not have gone pro this year. Like the girls look so freaking good. It is crazy. But
I mean,
I was very, very lucky, very fortunate to have everything work out the way it did.
you got lucky, but also don't sell yourself short. You did earn that. Like you did earn it. You were the best that day.
I struggled with that so much, just like feeling like I did not look like a pro. I did not like I literally was going into the venue at North Americans and I told my coach and like my 20 friends who all flew in, I was like, all right, time to go get my ass handed to me. And then they like immediately moved me to the center and I literally started crying. I was like trying to hold back tears on stage. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this was not supposed to happen. I was supposed to get like second call. I just definitely I can recognize that like that day I was the best and that day it was good enough, but I just never felt like I was competitive enough to like earn it, which is why I'm excited to pro debut because I feel like this is me like proving to the internet, to myself, to everyone around me that like I do belong in the pro league. But I feel like I just dealt with so much imposter syndrome after going pro because I didn't feel like that was a pro level physique when I went pro.
Yeah. I mean, did you experience any of that? Because I'm still an amateur here. I don't know what that's like.
For now. I mean, yeah, I definitely, I mean, at Universe, the girls were freaking massive. Like Universe, that show's usually freaking stacked.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of pro cards for that show, and that's what it's going to be, is those national shows with more pro card opportunities. There's going to be more girls showing up because there's more opportunities. But that almost makes it be like, dang, okay, like I was one spot away there. Like we might as well push to another show. And then, I mean, to get the pro card, I was like, yes, like I knew I was like right there. Like I think almost after I may have felt that imposter syndrome, but then I think getting the overall at a national show too was just like, holy shit, like, okay, validation there. Because I looked at all these other girls and what Jaden was saying, that she needed a little bit more density in her next show. Like, I didn't feel like I had that density. I felt like I had the leanness. I had the overall look like kind of nailed down, but the density was something I was like, dang, I'm looking at these girls, their glutes are fucking huge, but they're shorter than me. So that was another thing I realized, was they're shorter than me. They may not present the same as what I'm looking at them, like from my
Yeah,
on stage.
that was huge for me too, because I was looking at these girls backstage and I was probably like in terms of density, I was probably like fourth in my class. Like there were like three other girls who were like notably bigger than me and who I
Mm-hmm.
thought were conditioned enough, maybe like a little, like a hair too soft. But it really, really does come down to the look as a whole. And
Mm-hmm.
me going pro, and I'm sure you going pro, knowing that like we needed the density,
Mm-hmm.
that proved to me like, oh, it's not just about size.
Yeah.
It's not all. I mean, look at Francia, look at Issa, look at Eduarda. They are not the biggest girls on stage. If you look
Yeah.
at the Olympia stage, it really does come down to the look as a whole, the way you present it. I didn't realize how important posing was. Like it truly does display the physique, and like the judges judge what they can see. They're not looking at you straight on, right? Like we're always in our poses. And
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, people really underestimate like posing, how important that is. But it comes down to like suit color, the way that your suit fits. Is there gaping in your suit? Yes or no? Judges are gonna
Mm-hmm.
mark you down if there's any gaping in your suit, or if you're having a nip slip, you're gonna get knocked down. Like
Yeah.
there's so much that goes into it, and I think, yeah, pretty much at like all of my shows, I was like, oh, it's not the biggest girl on stage. Like I may be able to do this. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think
It's definitely comforting knowing that you can hit the mark in a lot of other areas, and even if you're lacking in one, if you have everything else, it can really pull it together.
Yeah.
I said it gives you room to grow in the sport too, and it's probably very affirming to know, like, okay, I won because I have that shape, I have that look. So who's to say in 2 years' time I come in with that density, it brings all of it together. So I like the fact that
Mm-hmm.
they are rewarding that to a degree. Of course, you need a level of density, you need conditioning in order to even get looked at. But when you're looking at that, the stack of girls in that first call out, who looks the division? Whose genetics are playing the best? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
to that.
Who has it all together? Like that's the other thing. Like who has the whole package?
yeah,
Eduardo's got small glutes or something. I don't remember. You
I've seen
remember
her.
that?
yeah,
Like obviously Tiffany has huge glutes. There's some other women that have huge glutes, like Lisa, and they're not top three. It's the overall posing, the presentation, the look.
yeah. I was very happy to see the way that the judging went at the Olympia. It was really like affirming that like wellness is still what wellness was last year and the year before. And I think even with like the addition of Fit Model, like bikini is gonna get bigger, wellness is gonna get bigger, but having those like the Tiffany sized girls get 16th place, it was kind of really comforting for me knowing like wellness is still the division that I wanted to compete in, the look that I wanted to look like. And even though like these huge, huge girls who technically, when you just look at them like alone, are wellness, when you line them up against other girls like Eduarda, like Issa, they are going to reward the Eduardas, the Issas, and they're going to
Mm-hmm.
stay away from like the super, super big girls. And I think a lot of people just don't really understand like what wellness is. Like it's such a unique division. And
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone just thinks like the bigger the legs, the better. Like, whoever has the biggest legs is going to win every single time. And it's nice to know that like they are like not rewarding like anything that is like too big for the division, because I think a lot of people have this misconception that as long as you have the biggest legs on stage, that's what they're gonna like reward, or like there is no cap for size in wellness when, in my opinion, there very much is a cap for wellness. If you don't look wellness anymore, you're not going to be in wellness anymore. You have to size up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the symmetry of the lower body,
Yep.
right? You're looking at the back pose especially, and there's just something off about it. You're like your legs are big, but
Right. Or like your glutes look huge, but only because your legs are small.
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah. So I like what you're saying, like, and I think we align with what we're looking for, because your physique, I feel like, is very similar. We have very similar physiques, because you're 5'6", we're both 5'7", Jaden and I, and you know, just the smaller upper body, and then the streamlined but symmetrical bigger lower body. Like, it doesn't have to be massive, it doesn't have to be crazy, like,
Yeah. I mean, for us to get that size at 5'6", that means we're like pushing 200 pounds in off season. That's insane.
it does not feel good.
Yeah, I'm like, that's crazy. Well, that's not wellness anymore. That's no longer wellness. You should not be pushing close to 200 pounds at 5'6", 5'7". Like, it does not need to be that big. And
No.
it's nice knowing that, like, it's still headed in the right direction, or at least the direction that it was, like, in Brazil before it came to the States. Like, that's not changing. And even though it's getting a little bit bigger than it has a couple years prior, it's like, it's still attainable. We can still get there, like, healthily. We don't have to like completely tank our hormones to get there.
Right.
Yeah. Or live in a body during our off season that we don't feel comfortable with.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
And that's such a huge thing too. I think a lot of people forget that the majority of your time is spent in off season. So you better like the body you're in. Because if you are, unhappy with, your legs chafing together a bit, this ain't the division for you. Sure is not. There's like, I don't know.
No.
Being prep lean is super fun. It's super awesome. And nobody can sit here and tell me that they don't absolutely adore it and think they look sick. But at the same time, that is such a small portion. And the growth that you put in and the work that you put in that off season is what reflects in prep. So you should feel comfortable and you should really respect and enjoy the body that you're in, because you only get one of them and that one should count.
Yeah. No, that's huge. I mean, I see it a lot in like first time. It feels weird being like first time competitors when I've literally done one season, but I did wait years before I started prep. So I've been in this industry for a while.
Yeah.
But I see it so often in first time competitors just being so laser focused on show day. And I'm like, you literally look peaked like that for 17 seconds. It's like you cannot bodybuild for what you're going to look like on show day. And I mean, everyone says it, and it sounds so cliche. It is cliche, but it's true. Like bodybuilding is truly a lifestyle. It's more of a lifestyle than it is a sport. You are in competition prep for max 7 months out of the year if you have a really long prep, and if you're competing for like show after show. But like realistically, you spend so much time in off season, especially in wellness, when you have to make big improvements, especially going like, and you probably get this, Emily, going from like amateur to pro level. It's like, yeah, if I stepped on a pro stage after winning my pro card, I would place 16th. I would not
That'd
place
be a total waste of money.
Yeah, congrats, you
You'd be
went pro.
embarrassed.
You're not the worst pro in the league. Like, welcome back to the bottom. You are right back at the bottom. And when you have to make these huge improvements from season to season, you're not taking 6 months of it. That's not an off season. An off season is not 6 months. You spend the first 3-4 months post show fixing your hormones in a health phase, and then you have 2 months of growing. You're not going to do anything. You're not going to see any major improvements in that. So if you're not happy in your off season body, that division is not for you. You need to find a different division, because show day, being stage lean, that is a very small portion of your time. I didn't even have abs until 4 weeks out. Like, and if I was just chasing the abs, I literally would be unhappy 11 months out of the year. So you have to like the physique that you're in off season, because that is what you're going to look like at least 80% of the year.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you brought up a good point. Like, if you're saying, hey, I want to compete next year, like you just competed, you want to compete next year, like that isn't 1 year of an off season. That's your 6 to 8 weeks of reversing, however long you do your reverse. Then, yeah, you may have a health phase depending on how you're doing. Maybe you can go right into growth. Maybe you get injured like I did, like, and you're trying to balance all of that. And I mean, the post-show blues, you have to think about how long that could set you back if it does. And then you've got like what, 21 weeks to grow, and now it's prep time.
Yeah, and like a year seems like a long time, but I feel like with bodybuilding, you have to look at it in phases. Like, I don't think, oh, like I'm 1 year out or I'm this many weeks out. It's like, okay, I know that I have a health phase after prep, and then I have a building phase, and then I have prep. That is no time. That is 3 phases. That is a lot scarier than, oh, I have a year. It's like, no, you don't have a year. You only have a couple more phases, and you better hope that life doesn't hit you upside the head and prolong any of those phases. I mean, post show for me, I was going for like my boob consult, and then he was booked out for another 6 months, but I also had a cancellation a week from now. So my turnaround for my boobs was literally 1 week, and then my surgeon was like, "You need a full 10 weeks off." I went back 10 weeks after my boobs, and he wanted me to be out for longer than that. Like I already went back way too soon for what he wanted. Yeah, I had a really long and hard recovery. I had an inch and a half thick pec that he had to cut through just from like, yeah, like I used to incline bench like crazy. It was nuts. Like Jaden said, like I would just throw up crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I had so much muscle that he had to cut through. But like if I like looking at when I competed at North Americans when I went pro, I was not accounting 10 weeks for like recovery for my boobs. And then after that, I was not accounting for me not eating on plan for those 10 weeks and then having to undo all the damage I did in those 10 weeks. And then after that, it's like, okay, then you have life stuff and then you have friends and you have family and you have trips that you're planning and like every week that you have something going on, you do set yourself back if you're not being locked in as well. So I think a lot of people just don't take long enough of an off season because they don't really think about life, other things they have going on, family, friends. They don't have that like buffer for anything. It's just like so laser focused and everything is like crystal clear. They're going to do their prep and then they're going to go into their off season and they're going to prep again. But we're human. It's never going to be that easy. It's never going to go as planned. You always have to have like an extra couple months of a buffer. Honestly, I feel like a couple months is like I'd say that's pretty conservative. Like for me, it's like I know with my schedule with how much I travel, if I have a timeline, I'm gonna add like 4 months onto that timeline to be safe because I just don't trust that everything is always gonna go my way because that's not how life is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's super smart. Is that how's your year been? Like, obviously you were taking 2 years off to grow and you're doing your pro debut next year. How has it been just kind of taking this year off? What have you been doing? You've been coaching. Tell us
Yeah,
about that.
yeah. This year has been just coaching.
Yeah.
Coaching has been like my absolute priority this year. I feel like, I mean, I have a lot of girls who come to me and like they have dreams of being wellness and like the shape is there, but they need the size, and it's going to take them like years of working with me before we're ready to prep. And when I competed, like I had all those girls who had already been on my roster for like 2 years, and I could just see how much they poured into me and how much they were so like willing to like let their protocols take the back burner so that way my prep could be the priority of my life. And it was so like warm and like I just felt so loved and supported. And I knew that like I wanted this year to be 100% about my clients because they let last year be 100% about me. And
Yeah.
even though like they were still getting same day check and responses, like I was still doing my job. I was still investing and giving them everything they needed. I just wanted to like go above and beyond for them this year. So this year's just been all about coaching, all about travel, a lot of social media stuff, a lot of like new brand deals, like ending old partnerships with a bunch of sponsors and then like gaining new sponsorships, traveling for that, traveling just to see my friends because I personally, I don't know how you guys prep, but I am a hermit. I don't talk to
Yep.
people. I don't go travel. I'm scared to fly. I think it'll be a lot different this next time, but I mean, I waited 2.5 years. Nothing is fucking up my prep. Like nothing is fucking it up. So I didn't travel at all when I was in prep. I think maybe like 1 or 2 trips, but that was it. But yeah, I mean, there were days in prep where like if I didn't talk to my mom or make a TikTok, I did not say a single word the entire day. So this year it was like fix your relationships, like go travel, go see everyone, be
Mhm.
human. Like allow yourself to not pack your body weight scale on this trip and just like really investing in my relationships and then have a new relationship like I'm with my boyfriend now. We started dating in October last year, so I've just been investing a lot into that relationship. Got 2 wiener dogs. We're planning to move out of Houston in January. So a lot of like life stuff and business stuff. And then I brought on an assistant coach, planning to bring on a second assistant coach to my team in the next couple of months. So it's really just been like a big business year for me and a big life year for me. And then still bodybuilding on the side of that. And I've had a couple coaches this year. So still doing that stuff. But I'd say like my priority this entire year has just been coaching.
Yeah.
I love that. And I love your wiener dogs. Like before this, and I'm like, she has 2 hairy wieners
in my apartment. And I was like, they are going to weenie the entire time. I was like, I do not trust them. They just go back and forth. I'm like,
Oh my
you guys
god.
are 12 pounds. You're not scaring anybody.
Oh my god.
Adorable.
I'm trying to convince my husband to get some.
You need one.
I do.
They're actually the best purchases of my life. I love them so much.
What are their names?
The older one, the white and black one, that's Stuart Louis. And the smaller one is St. Alexander.
Oh my god, I love their names.
Big names for like such a little.
Yeah.
Where are you
The
guys?
little dog syndrome.
Lagging.
Wait, do you say where are we planning to?
Yeah. Is that not?
We're thinking about Austin.
Nice.
No, we can talk about it. We're thinking about going to Austin. We have no idea where we want to go yet. And
Move to
January
Tampa.
is a month away.
Yeah.
We thought about Tampa, but I don't know if I can do the hurricane. I
Yeah.
don't know if I can do just, I mean, even in Houston, it's like we'll get the little like debris of your guys' hurricanes. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like my power was out one day. It was out for like a full week when I was in prep. And I was like, I will never prep here. I will not do it. I'm like, Tampa is so much worse. I just don't like the rain. And it already rains so much in Houston. And everyone says, like, if you don't like Houston weather, Tampa's like 10 times worse. And I'm like, okay, maybe not. But I love bodybuilding in
Well,
Tampa.
Virginia's pretty cool, but we're not by any major things, I feel like.
No, like
I know. And then I'm like, well, if I'm in that area, like I know there's good gyms. I know bodybuilding is big there. But we just have no idea. And I'm like, okay, realistically, like I already have 3 trips planned like in the next month and they're all for like a week. And I'm like, when are we going to go tour places realistically? So I'm going to nationals for my 2 clients competing there. And then that week after nationals, we drive to Austin and we're just going to like try out other gyms. There's a couple gyms we want to try out, but like they have like weird filming rules that's like only after 5 p.m. on Sundays. And I'm like, well, that won't work for me. So
I wonder, do you know Britt Gillespie? She's in Austin.
I feel like I've heard the last name.
She's a bikini competitor. She's one of my best friends. Yeah, they're in Austin. Where does she go train?
I can't remember, but it's a
I'm
sick
trying to
gym.
look at her gym.
But
yeah, and then it's like it's hard with this because I'm like, I do need every piece of equipment. Oh,
Yeah.
Lift ATX.
Yeah, it's like an indoor-outdoor gym.
Yeah, I'm so picky because it's like I'm with my like trainer Corey Lindner, and he's like 3 different hamstring pulls in the same day. So I'm like, I can't go to a gym that only has 1 or 2. Like I need all 3. Like it's so specific for wellness, especially now that it's like, I mean, I'm not training upper body at all anymore. Like I just have 4 lower body days and 3 rest days per week. And I'm like, yeah, like I do need a Roger squat and a pendulum and a hack and this and that. So it's like so hard for me to find a good gym. Like right now, it's like I have different gyms in Houston for different things. I'm like, I can only try my quad day at this gym and every other day I can do at this gym. So it's going to be hard, but I'm like, realistically, I don't think I'm ever going to find the perfect gym. So just being in an area where I have like access to like a couple good gyms, I'm like, I can do that. So we're going to go try it out, see how it goes. And then obviously like one of my best friends, Alex, is in Austin now. I have like a couple other friends who are in Austin, and John and Caitlin lived in Austin for a while. So I'm like, okay, I think it could work. I don't know. I kind of just want to be around water. I'm like, I want to be able to like go on a boat if I want to go on a boat.
Yeah.
I know go on boats. But I would like the option to go on a boat. So
yeah, it's definitely a vibe, like living near water. It makes you feel like a little bit more relaxed and like things are open and I can breathe a little easier. But if y'all are ever in the Tampa area, Champs is like one of the greatest gyms I've ever been to. It is, and I'm very lucky to call that my home gym. But like, that's where that's where Eduardo trained before the Olympia. And like,
Wait, what gym is it?
at Champs Elysium, it's Derek's gym. So like, literally the other day, I had a
Oh,
full on conversation with him and like showed him my check-ins from that morning, and it was very surreal that I was showing Mr. Olympia my check-ins. But it's such good equipment, like, oh, so good. So if you're ever in the area, you have.
yeah, we're thinking about doing like a 6-month lease and then actually like taking the time to go travel out of state and like try out other places. So I'm like, okay, Tampa will be on there. I'm like, realistically, we're two young bodybuilders in our 20s. Like, we're gonna end up in Tampa at some point. I'm like, I feel like that's just like can't it's gonna happen.
It's
You
the
wouldn't
progression. You got to do it.
What,
What do you
sorry?
say?
you wouldn't leave Virginia there?
Well, I'm already married and I'm way older than you guys. But Virginia's where my parents are and they're getting older. And then my husband has his family business here. So once they retire, then we're taking over their family business and like real estate stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Love
kind of hard to move. I love traveling though. So Jaden, I'm coming to see
the invite is open. The invite is open. But I do love Virginia for
you. Sure.
and like
Mhm.
that's for me.
Yeah.
That's where I started. So it's always a special spot. But like I've heard nothing but good things about Austin. My posing coach lives down there. Absolutely freaking loves it. So I
Mhm.
hope.
Yeah, I hope so.
It'll
I'm
be
like, we have our dog. I'm like, as long as we have those two little fuckers, we'll be
Oh yeah. Yeah.
need
Yeah.
each other and we'll figure the rest out later. It'll be
Exactly.
fine.
Big bag. Can we pause
All
for
right.
like 1
So
second?
go ahead. Yes,
Sorry.
go
Right.
ahead. Because I was like, I don't know what I want to talk about next. I'm looking at my questions. Dog hairs. I'm surprised my dog didn't come up under the bed. Cayenne. She's usually under the bed and then she'll like pop up on top of the bed.
Do you have a big dog or a little dog?
She's a beagle golden. Cayenne. She's asleep.
What?
Yeah, it's a oopsie dog. It's like you'll never see this dog ever.
Yeah.
But it's like a smaller golden, but like the sweetness of a beagle. She's hi. Hi, come here. Hi, Sophia wants to say hi. Come here. Her bedhead right now. Come here. She's a little
Dad.
she's crazy.
Oh my god, she's so cute.
It's a big baby.
I know
Yes.
she's huge. Her
She's huge.
color, beagle. I'm like, you would never see a golden with this color.
Mm-mm.
But it's such a cool mix. Oh my god.
So
She
much
just
water.
chills. Oh, you're
No.
good. Oh my
We have-
gosh. It's totally random, but my black water bottle cap like broke. So now I have this like light pink on my cow. So it looks like an udder. And I just died when I looked.
No, I kind of like it. Perfect.
Now I can't not think about it. Like
See, that's
the little
first
cow nipple. Anyways, random.
stuff.
Okay. All right. Where are we at? We were talking about Austin. No, Austin seems like a really cool spot because like Britt will go out with her boyfriend on the boat like all the time.
Yeah, and like Alex posted like doing yoga on a paddleboard. Will I ever do that? No, but I can if I want to. Like
Well,
There's an
I
option.
California. I was like I was in LA and like I was in the outskirts of LA, but like so central to literally everything. And I just don't think you just don't appreciate it when you grow up around it. It's like it's just what your norm is. And I was like, I need to be by a big city. Like I need to be in the center of Houston. So I'm in the heights of Houston. Like I'm in the city. I get a city view. But I'm like, oh, I kind of do enjoy being around nature. Like I
yeah.
do want to be around water now. I do want to be like close to a mount. Like I like snowboarding. Like in winter, and I'm like, there's no mountains in Houston. It is so flat. Like it is literally just huge swamp. Like the city isn't really a city. There's nothing to do downtown. It's just like banks and hotels. Like it's like you're never gonna go to downtown Houston. It's never gonna be fun. So I'm like, okay, I live in the city, but don't take advantage of the city. And then anytime I want to snowboard, which is something I would do every single weekend back home, it's like, okay, yeah, you have to go book a flight to do that now. And then it's like if you want to go to the beach, you also have to book a flight because Galveston Beach is awful. So it's just like I think we've just like outgrown Houston, and I'm ready to be around nature again and like appreciate the things that I took for granted when I lived in California.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, Virginia sounds like a really good option.
On the
It's
list.
nature. It's like a few hours to the beach or any lake or any body of water, you know. Yeah, just saying.
We did think about DMV, so I'm like,
You're welcome to come visit if you want
I would love to.
and explore. All right, what else do we want to talk about you, girlfriend, while we have you on? We talked about training, nutrition. When is do we have a show picked out or like a time frame for the debut?
Yes. So I'm finally under 40 weeks out. We like have a target show, but again, I don't like to ever like shoot for a show. Even for my
Yeah.
clients, it's like, congrats, you're in prep. Your prep will be around this many weeks. We'll find a show like 4 weeks out. When we hit that 4 weeks out mark, we'll see if you're ready. Obviously, like being at the pro level and like with the point system and different shows like having different points, it's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I am going for a show. But I'm like about 30, I checked in today. I think I want to say 35-ish weeks out. So planning to do a couple shows
It's
next
exciting.
year, but everything just kind of depends on how I'm doing. Like if I know I'm expecting to actually get my ass handed to me this time. Like I'm excited to have a loss under my belt. So we're going for like a big show. We're going for Texas Pro. So it's
Let's
gonna be
go.
a big show. But yeah, I'm like me versus Ray and Foco. But like depending on how I fall, like with actually the best of the best at Texas Pro, I'll see if I want to like just push it and try to get points every single show and like just go week after week. I'll run my body into the ground. Like I don't mind. I have done a very, very hard prep. My first prep was like what most people would consider to be pretty hard, like 0 carb, 2 hours of cardio a day. Like I've already done the hard. So I'm like, I don't mind putting my body through that and just going show after show if I'm placing well. But I mean, if I go and it's like second call outs and then I do my second target show and I get second call outs there, I'm done for the season. Like I will go back into a 2 year long off season and I'll come back when I know I can like hang with the big dogs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so everything's kind of like tentative and kind of just in the air. It's like if I'm doing well and I actually have the size to like hold my own, I mean, I'm competitive. Like I'm bodybuilding and like I'm competing with the intent to be on the Olympia stage someday. So I will push my body as far as I can if I'm doing well. But I'm gonna be realistic and I'm not gonna be stupid. I'm not gonna put my health through that if there's like no shot of me getting any sort of points. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm at.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
How are you
exciting. And
feeling?
it'll be nice to have that like in your backyard kind of.
Yeah, I'm like one last prep in Texas will be
Yeah.
nice. And then second show is also going to be like a Texas show. And then I traveled for North American, so like I do fine traveling. So if I need to travel for shows, like I'll travel for shows. But it's definitely, I don't know. It's like I love competing, and like because my first prep was like so hard, I want to like have stage time. Like I love being on stage. I thought
Mm-hmm.
that I would hate it. I thought that I would be terrible. My posing last year was like god awful, but like it was still better than like most amateurs. So I'm like I'm so much better at posing now. Like I love posing. I loved being on stage even when I didn't know what I was doing posing wise. And now I feel like I really know what I'm doing or like starting to learn what to do. And I'm like I want to be on stage as much as possible and like once I don't. You guys know how it is. It's like once you're
Mm-hmm.
staging, it's like, oh my god, you just want to say it like that. It's like
Yeah.
realistically, it's not forever, but it's like I want to soak it all in and just get the most out of my like first pro debut season. It only happens once, so I'm like, I want to do as much as I can, see where I fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that
Yeah.
makes a ton of sense. You brought up
No, I'll be competing in 2026 too when you are. Yeah. We'll see again it's like how are we doing injury wise? Like so far so good. Are we actually growing? Do we have enough size? Cuz
Yeah,
yeah, I mean I'm fine with getting my ass handed to me too. Like I kind of like how you had that. Like I'm fine with it because knowing that I will be going up against like the best of the best. Like and I will
yeah.
be next to them and near them and around them and in their presence and soaking up their energy, you know?
Yes. I'm like, I just want to see. It's really hard to like judge your level of competitiveness like in off season.
Mhm.
at least me, like, I don't have any wellness pros like around me that I'm like, close with. Like my gym, I think I'm the only wellness pro there. So it's like I don't see
Same.
anyone. I don't really know what I'm supposed to look like. I've never stood next to a competitive wellness pro. So I don't really I'm like, I don't know where I'm gonna fall. And the way that I carry my fat in off season is so different from what I look like on show day.
Right.
And I look way bigger on stage. Even like my check-in pics before North Americans compared to my stage shots from North Americans, I'm like, I literally look like I took an off season between them and they were taken 20 minutes apart. But it's just like I look so different on stage. I look different in person and I just carry my fat so weird in off season that I literally have no idea what I'm gonna look like next year. So I'm like, yeah, the only way to find out is to pro debut, do something with your pro cards. Okay,
Mhm.
we'll just see what happens. I'm like I feel tiny, but I also know that I'm an athlete who is not allowed to have thoughts about my own body because I will think that I am never going to be ready to pro debut. So I'm like, yeah, like we're just gonna see what happens. Hope that the work I've put in over the past year and a half, 2 years is good enough, and go back to the drawing board after that. That's the beauty in it, though. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
you're always gonna have somewhere to improve. Even
Right.
at like reaching it to the Olympia, you can still fine tune it and be better. Even Eduarda, it's like, yeah, she is the standard, but there's still areas where she could grow and improve from. So it's
Mhm.
exciting. I'm like, I love it because you're never going to be peaked at your best. Like your best is going to eventually become your worst. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I'm excited to grow. I am starting like my true off season this week, and like we're actually gonna like start pushing into a growth phase now. And I'm like, okay, I hope after this I feel big enough, or I at least feel competitive. Because right now I'm like, you're so tiny. But it's also like, and you guys probably do the same thing. I'm so bad at just like seeing the one area of me that isn't there yet, and like not recognizing anything else that looks good. It's like, yeah, okay, you have like sort of visible tie-ins, like that's good, but also your quads suck and your hams suck. I'm like, you literally are nowhere near where you need to be. So I don't know. It's hard.
We always are our harshest critics and just picking ourselves apart. I mean, I'm like, well, this outfit actually makes me look better. Like sometimes it does. I have to change my outfit because I'm like, dang, I don't really like how my upper body is looking right now. I need to kind of like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's literally me. And I carry my fat so poorly. Like, it is always midsection first, upper body second, legs stay lean. And like, it's good because when I prep, I really don't lose too much size in my lower body, which is good for wellness. But
Mhm.
then, like, yeah, I just spend my whole off season staring at myself. Or like, it goes to my face, and I'm like, okay, that's great.
But really just like understanding that, you know, that's something that's going to happen. It doesn't detract from your worth as a bodybuilder or as a person. That's just the way that you look. And, there has to be something
Mhm.
beautiful and there has to be a different way to talk to yourself about it. Otherwise, you go haywire and you drive yourself insane and you can't enjoy your life. So, like, whenever, for example, like I used to be really bad about any of that kind of stuff. And I worked with my coach a lot on that. And he called me on it every single time I said something like negative about myself. And he was like, nope, we're not doing that. And it has retrained the way that I think about myself. And I've made infinitely more progress being proud of where I was at, even though like I was thick as hell in the off season. I was like pushing like 190 at one point. I still loved the way I like looking back on it now, we're not doing that again, but I still really liked the way that I looked because one, I was super strong. Two, all of this was underneath. So like you have to find something in each phase that makes you be like, okay, worth it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think a lot of women specifically hold themselves back so much in an off season because they are constantly asking their coach if they can do a mini cut.
Yep.
The minute
Mhm.
they're uncomfortable, the minute the abs go away, they need to do a cut. I mean, I see it even in like seasoned competitors who have done like 2 or 3 seasons, but like 5 or 6 shows. It's like they're prepping again when they still have abs. They never lost their abs. They never lost their tie-ins. And it's like you will be maybe 1 pound heavier on stage, like because you were too I'm gonna put it very blunt because that's kind of just the way I am. But you are too much of a pussy to be uncomfortable in your off season, and that is the same exact reason why you're placing the exact same every single year. And I mean, I have to work on like mindset a lot with my girls too because they're the same way. It's like, well, I just feel really fluffy, or like I'm just not happy with this, and I'm like, you are tying so much of your worth to your body, and that is so far from what you need to do. And bodybuilding, like, I think bodybuilding can really like ruin someone's relationship with their body, but for me, bodybuilding really like healed my relationship with my body. I think if you go into bodybuilding and like you have good thoughts about your body year round, yeah, you may struggle with that going through like prep and bulk and like seeing yourself that lean and then seeing yourself have to immediately start gaining fat. But I mean, I always just like hated my body like my entire childhood, like would face tune the fuck out of my body in high school. And like my goal was always like, I just want to look like my face tune. And then I started bodybuilding. I mean, I stopped face tuning before I like started bodybuilding before I got into the gym, but started bodybuilding, and I don't know, it's just like you realize that there is so much more to you than what you look like, and understanding that your body is in a constant state of flux and you are not meant to look the same every single day. You're not meant to look the same every single year. You are in some way you are always like improving with bodybuilding. Like if you're getting fluffier, if you are training hard, yeah, you're going to get bigger too. Like you're getting fluffier, but you're also gaining mass. And then if you're getting leaner, yeah, maybe you're not gaining size, but like you are getting leaner, like you are losing fat. Like no matter what the phase is, it serves a purpose. It is making you better in the long run, and learning how to like detach your emotions from your body. It's honestly, it's key to like success and longevity in the sport, because girls are just way too critical about what they look like right now. And I'm like, you need to dial back. You need to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Yeah, you're fluffy right now. I mean, even like my girls prepping this year, it's like they're like, I cannot believe I got that fat. Like you made me fat in my off season. Like we can never do that again. And I'm like, you do realize the reason why you look the way you look right now in prep is because I got you that fat, right? My girls are so good at like letting me push them to like being super uncomfortable in their off season and in their preps. But it's like you cannot hold your worth to a level of leanness. That is so, so silly. And you are preventing so much growth and so much success long term by not dealing with the uncomfortability or the discomfort of an off season.
Yeah,
And like
absolutely.
I'm like you, Jaden. I don't know about you, Emily, but like I have to get pretty thick. I have to
Yeah,
get pretty thick, and I carry it in all the wrong places. Like I will never have an ass that shakes. My muscle does not shake. Like it is literally by the bones back there. Like nothing is happening. But and same, like I will have glute tie-ins, and I will also have a fupa, and that's just the way that my body is, and it's okay. I don't love it, but it's okay because I'm able to look at it more objectively instead of being super subjective and like focusing on like the bad things. It's like I'm critical with my physique for sure. And like being a coach, it's very easy for me to look at my body objectively, and I can see my weaknesses. I can see my strengths for sure. And I can be really critical of my weaknesses. But at the end of the day, I understand that like my body is just a body. Bodybuilding is like what 10% of who I am as a person. And I think the minute you're able to like separate your emotions and your comfort with your body, that's when you start to really progress in bodybuilding. I held myself back so much my first year of bodybuilding because I was scared to get fat. And
yeah,
then it happened anyway when I started binging. I'm like, good. All that work to stay lean and then you binge. Congrats. It's like, who cares what you look like? Just do what you're supposed to do. It'll be fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I yeah. I feel it. I feel like my off season before my last show, I definitely was a little bit heavier body fat. I feel like this off season, we're kind of keeping it reined in a little bit more. And I'm not sure if this is just this coach's approach or maybe just what the compounds that I'm on and things like that. But the waistline seems to be relatively tight where we're trying to grow everywhere else. But girl, it is hard to grow when you're tall.
It
It's
is.
hard to grow when you're tall. I'm like, we have to eat so much freaking food. You shorties, like, yeah.
I think what's insane is like I will have a 5 foot bikini competitor at 500 carb, and like me at 5'6", 176 pounds. It's like 200 carb. You're gaining weight.
Yeah,
Congrats. It is so backwards for me. It's like with the way I look, with how much muscle I have, you would think that I'd be eating like 400 carb. And it's like, no, I'm gonna stay in my 200. 200s is good for me. Anything more than that, and it's like I am gaining unnecessary fat. But
yeah,
I was the same. Like my last off season before I started prep, I have never been that fat. Like it was like I barely had any tie-ins. Like I had a 40-pound prep, I want to say 43-pound prep, something like that. Like I had a lot of fat to lose, but looking back, I'm like, oh my God, thank God, because I was still too small.
Yeah.
I I'm happy that we're keeping it like tighter now because like judging based off my check-in pics this morning, just me as a coach, like my eyes, I would estimate like I'm like 22-ish pounds away from stage weight right now. So I'm like, okay, I kind of like this. I'm like, I'm glad that we're keeping it a lot tighter. And
Mm-hmm.
like another thing people get misconstrued with is like you can't grow muscle, but not just like you can't grow muscle while being in a deficit, but like you can't grow muscle without gaining a shit ton of fat. And I'm like, you can. Like
Mm-hmm.
just eating, like if you're eating in 1,000 calorie surplus, you're not going to gain more muscle than you would eating in like a 300 or 500 calorie surplus. Like muscle is going to build the way that muscle builds, regardless of how big that surplus is. So I think a lot of people just kind of go into like that dirty bulk mindset, or they just like start doing if it fits your macros, and they stop like focusing
Mm-hmm.
on micronutrients and actually fueling their body and doing it like strategically. And I think that's something that kind of needs to be put on the side. I'm like, it's okay having a level of discomfort with your body that pushes you to be better, while also like pulling in the reins a little bit and understanding like, okay, that was just big back of me. I didn't need to order the crumble just because I'm in off season. Like that could have been something I did at a later point. Like that's unnecessary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I definitely got like big in my off season last year, and this year we're not doing that. But I honestly am growing a lot more than I did in my off season before prep last year. And I truly think it's just like I learned how to train. Like I have actually optimized my training now, and like I'm eating relatively only whole foods. It's like the worst thing I have in my day is like a muffin. And it's like it's not that bad. It's like basically protein powder and then yeah, like a couple sugar alcohols, but like that is like the worst thing I have compared to last off season where I would do like if it fits your macros, I would guesstimate, I would go out to eat and like I would order like clean things and I would still track it the best I could. But this year I'm just like trying to keep things like as tight as I can because I've been through like a 40-pound prep and I never want to do a 40-pound prep again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that's like what you said is important is you have to rein in the foods. Like just because it's off season doesn't mean you just go straight to macros and if it fits your macros approach, right? If you actually want to be competitive, especially where we're at, we just got our pro cards last year. We want to be competitive next year in our pro debut. Like that's a serious thing for us. We take that seriously. That's not like we have to have a meal plan that actually matches the goals that we're going to, right? Yeah. And I think for me was reining in my free meals because a few months before I started working with my new coach, I definitely was like, hey, I just need someone to like kind of whip me back into shape. Like just tell me stop eating like all these free meals and eat a little bit cleaner free meals or, follow the meal plan a little bit more. Even though me as a coach, like I know how to do that. It's nice to have a coach to just say, hey, like let's get
It
back to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I hired my current coach who I've been with since July. Because I was self-coaching and like it was fine, but like I don't know, I just got to the point where I was like, I don't want to do this. This is fun. Like I'm not gonna lie, my body responded so well to like being coached by me, and I thought that maybe I wouldn't be able to look at my body like as subjectively, or I would make like bad calls because it's my body and I have all the emotions tied to it.
Mhm.
But I was able to like coach myself well. But I just got to the point where I was like, I already coach like 80 other people. I don't want to have to worry about mine, and I don't want to like get to show day and be like, would I have placed one spot higher if I hired a coach? I'm like, I just don't like having to think about it. I'm like, I like giving everything to my coach. Like, you have thoughts about my body. I don't have thoughts about my body. You tell me what not to eat and just do what you say. And I'm like, and you know what? It falls on you as much as it falls on me if it doesn't go our way in the end. But I like that way more than I like self coaching, but I like the accountability of having a coach. And even
Mhm.
though, like, I'm sure you get it, both of you guys get it, it's like we can hold ourselves accountable. Like, I can go on a trip and intuitively eat, and I can come back lighter or the same weight. Like, I won't gain a shit ton of weight anymore because I do hold myself accountable. I do enjoy my body. I also understand that like whatever damage I do, I am the person that does have to pick it up and like fix it. And I don't want to do damage control anymore. I'm like way past that building. But it's just nice to like have a coach and like have someone like, I guess, just tell you what to do and tell you if you're doing it right, if there's areas that you could improve. Having someone like be very realistic with you and be very upfront, like, hey, you are doing way too much during your free meals. You are doing X, Y, and Z wrong. You are training like a pussy. Whatever it may be,
Mm-hmm.
not having to be that person for yourself and just having somebody like be very blunt and honest with you on where you can improve. Otherwise, I think people kind of hold themselves back. I think a lot of people think that they are doing more than they are doing. And I think a lot of people need to be more realistic with themselves. You could have pushed for another rep. You did not need to eat as much as you ate. Whatever it may be. I'm just like, I think a lot of people have like reverse, I don't know, what would you even call it? I don't know. But just like a lot of people think that they are doing way more than they're doing, and it's like you are giving yourself too much credit. I think you need to like be a little harder on yourself because I mean for me it's like even with training I've always been like you can train harder. Like it doesn't matter. Like you go harder, go for another rep, like add another plate, like figure it out, just like find some way to like push harder. Like I always feel like I'm not doing enough and I've just always been like that, but it helps me so much with bodybuilding because I literally never feel like I'm doing enough. It's like I will follow and execute the plan to a T, and I'm like, should have done more. I'm like, you should have taken an extra 1,000 steps today. Like, no, you don't need to do that. But like, it does help when you have that like overachiever mindset because for me, it's like if you are overachieving, you are doing like what's expected of you. And then if you are doing what's expected of you, you're doing the bare minimum.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, it's like that saying that there's a girl out there working harder than you, right? There's a girl that she's posing longer than you. She's hitting her poses better than you. She's, pushing one more rep. She's doing more weight. Like whenever I'm in the gym, like whenever I get the opportunity to be in the gym, that's why I kind of think about it because I don't know about you and like coaching and everything. Like it's very stressful. And so sometimes my training kind of falls to the back burner, even though I don't want it to. And whenever it does, I'm like, okay, I'm here. I get the opportunity to train. I just think about like the Olympia stage or like any other stage. Like, even if I'm not going to get there, I'm like, these girls got there by doing these things, right? Like doing the hard things and pushing when they need a push. So that always remind myself when I'm in the gym that, hey, I have this opportunity. I'm going to fucking use it. I'm going to push as hard as I can
No,
while I can.
it sounds so stupid because like people say like someone out there is working harder than you, and it's like, oh my god, like nobody's in the gym saying that. No, I am. I
Yes.
Yeah.
am the girl who is like, I'm doing my hamstrings are like the weakest point of my physique, and I am doing hamstring curls, and I'm picturing Rayanne and Eduarda and Issa, and I'm like, and if you would have pushed for one more, guess what? Maybe you'd be up there one day. I'm like, and just
Mhm.
like it's always you always have to think that someone is doing more than you because someone is always going to be doing more than you, and
Mhm.
you never get to that level that you want to get to if you are just thinking if you're just suffice in the effort that you're putting in. You
Yeah.
constantly like bodybuilding is a sport where you constantly need to be striving to do more to be better, otherwise you are going to hold yourself back.
Yeah. 100%.
All right. Well, we're getting towards the end of our time here.
Honestly, from my perspective, I appreciate how real and how blunt you keep it. Like, I feel like a lot of people in the industry like are afraid to just like say shit. So I respect the hell out of you for that. And I think I speak
I
for both
appreciate
you and I when we say we're very, very excited for your next season and all you've got in store. It's gonna be freaking awesome. And thank you so much for coming on today.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, of course, it was so much fun.
Tell the girlies where they can find you and if there's any different brands you want to plug or anything like that.
Okay, my handle is Sophia SOPPHEEYAHH on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Yeah, you guys can find me there. Dark Sport, Buff Chick, Hummus Fit, Buff and Muffins, Angel Competition Bikinis, Code Sophia if y'all want to support your girl.
All right. Last thing though, what one piece of advice would you give to aspiring wellness competitors?
I think when it comes to wellness, it's a very pain tolerance division. I think if you don't have like a really high pain tolerance to train legs the way you need to train legs, it may just not be in your favor. That being said, never ever give up. You have no idea what you are capable of. And when I first hired my first coach, I definitely needed to grow into bikini, but I was dead set on being wellness. If wellness did not exist, I was not competing. If they ever take wellness away, I'm going to. I don't want to compete unless I'm competing in wellness. And I think people underestimate how powerful they are. People underestimate how powerful the mind is. And as long as mentally you want it, you can get there. And just whatever your goal is, make sure that your effort aligns with that. And if something isn't working out, either you need to decrease your goal or you need to increase your effort. But no matter what, as long as you are driven and as long as you work hard and you give everything your all, there is no reason why you cannot be a wellness pro. There's no reason why you can't be successful in this division. As long as your work ethic and your efforts align with whatever your goal is, you will get to where you want to be.
I love that. Spot on.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, thank you, girly. It was so awesome chatting with you.
You guys too. So nice talking to y'all.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
This episode is brought to you by Wolfpack, gear built for life on the move. From backpacks, duffel bags, to meal management bags, Wolfpack keeps you ready for the gym, travel, and everything in between.